Okay guys, in this video I want to talk about the importance of a 4-hour closure. Okay, I'm also going to give you a quick rundown on reading again 30-minute candles. Okay, because there's a way of filtering out whether or not these trades are going to continue. All right, and one of the ways is obviously you need to wait for the 4-hour close. Okay, I'd say that's normally that's paramount. Okay, because if the 4-hour close at 10 o'clock, if you trade in London, if that doesn't close underneath the zone, then obviously there's a very high chance that that zone is going to hold, and then we can start looking for a reversal or a trade in the opposite direction of what we intended, or we just leave the trade and wait. Okay, now what I want to draw your attention to here on the 30-minute is, number one, the fact that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so in this area here, we've got 4.5 hours where prices move down, okay, without one single bullish candle facing the opposite direction. Okay, so what's the chances of another 4, 5, or 6 candles going in your favor? Okay, it's already moved 4.5 hours, so 9 30-minute candles have already moved in the direction of which you want to take the trade. Okay, so in terms of looking for that trade to continue, you're probably going to want maybe another 2, 3, or 4 in order to hit your take profit down here, okay, of consecutive bearish candles. Now, if you look through your charts on a 30-minute time frame, it's not very often that you will find 10, 15 candles all facing the same direction on a 30-minute time frame. It just doesn't tend to happen. Okay, lower down on the time frames, yes, maybe, but not so much when you move up. Okay, right, now what I also want to have a look at is this area here. Okay, more importantly, I want you to look at these 2 candles right here. Okay, the first candle on the left. Okay, so we're looking at these 2 specific candles here. Okay, this candle here is closed with absolutely no wick to the downside. The next candle's opened with no wick to the downside, and to me that says that it's quite possible that there's no more range for price to move into. Okay, the job has been done. Price has hit this level, which I believe is around about 107.85. Okay, maybe that's a key level. Maybe we're looking at the, we're just below actually a very key level. So 1.08. Okay, so that's a key level in terms of Euro USD. Because it's a pretty big round number. But what's happened is no wick here, no wick here. So you haven't got an entry point on this, okay, because you haven't got a low. Okay, this candle's just stopped dead in its tracks. This candle's opened up with no wick. It hasn't moved down at all. Okay, we've come back up, and yes, we've created, new low, new low, new low, new low, new low. But what's happened here is turned into an accumulation. Okay, now when you want to try and start filtering out a bad trade, a bad breakout, okay, number one, you've got 9 candles all facing the same direction. Oops. So you've got 9 candles all facing the same direction, right? So the chances of another 9 or another 3 or another 5 are becoming a lot less. Okay, number 2 is you've got what looks as though a reversal point. Okay, so we've stopped here for some reason, and like I said, in my mind, when it stops dead and price buying and selling just stops dead in its tracks, it means that the activity's stopped. Okay, so any selling pressure or any selling momentum that may have been in the market at that time is now gone. When you move up the time frame to the 4-hour, okay, we're looking at this 4-hour level, okay, and we want this level to break on the higher time frame. That's the ideal scenario. Okay, now we haven't broken this level. The candle body's closed inside area, inside the rejection zone, because basically supply and demand, support and resistance, that's the rejection zones. Okay, so we're looking for a short. Okay, so basically nobody wants to buy in at this price anymore. We're waiting for price to break through and then give us an indication that we're going to come up. It may only mean that we're coming up to here. Okay, we could take a trade against a higher time frame trend. That's absolutely fine. They are less successful generally if you're going against a 4-hour time frame, but there are trades that you can take, you know, quite regular that you're gonna get success with. But we've actually closed at 10 o'clock. Now, if you're up and you're trading and you're looking for trades around about 8-9 o'clock, if you haven't got the patience to wait that extra half hour, that extra hour, just for that 4-hour candle close, just to get that added confirmation that price is going to move in your favor, well, you're not going to get very far in Forex trading, I'm afraid, because patience in this game is everything. Okay, so there was potentially a trade here, but we got a couple of things that we need to filter into our trading that help us avoid bad trades. Okay, so number one, if you count the 30-minute candles, there's 9 of them. Okay, so you've got to then weigh up the probabilities of another 9 or another 3 or another 4 or another 5. Okay, very slim. Okay, you've got this area here which has no wick to the downside, which to me means there's no more range for that price to move into. Okay, there's nothing there, everything's stopped dead in its tracks. And then when you wait another hour and a half, the 4-hour closure is actually closed inside the support zone. Okay, so would you now want to look for buys? Would you see this as a rejection wick? Would you see this as a bearish close? Because if you use the Garn box and you measure this, okay, the majority of activity inside this candle is now buying. Okay, it hasn't closed in its lower 1/3. Okay, if it closed in its lower 1/3, then there's more sellers than buyers. But in this case, although the candlestick is still bearish, it looks more like a rejection of lower prices, and there's a high chance that this is going to return up, even if it's just to create or to collect some more liquidity before moving down. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Again, if you have any questions, hit me up in the chat room, send me a DM. Happy to help you out if you need any.